everybody, I'm just going to take you through everyone's favourite haircut, the uniform layer. So getting our blocks out, we're going to do the uniform layered haircut, which is a 90-degree haircut taken throughout the whole of this haircut. Obviously there's guidelines to follow, so just as you've been taught back in college, we'll go back over those first for you now. So the first guideline is a forehead to nape guideline, making it remember the width of your narrowest part of your comb. Okay, so now you've got your guideline, let's just double check that that is correct. So forehead to nape all the way down, make sure it's nice and straight, remember, double check that. And then coming around the side of our client, going straight to the centre of the top of the head here, we're going to take this section up towards the ceiling at 90 degrees. So if you're unsure, 90 degrees when you place your comb is always coming out of the head like so. Alright, so all the way up 90 degrees, get a good grip, fingers nice and straight, and of course after discussion with your client you will agree how much is coming off. Moving forward to the front, taking some of that new guideline with you, holding the hair directly up at 90 degrees, fingers right and cut. Again, losing some of that hair, taking some of the guideline with you towards the front of the head now. Remembering we're following the contour of the head, so again if you're unsure, comb on there to double check 90-degree angle. There's your guide. And now we're going to work backwards. Double checking 90. Dropping that down and now working towards the back of the head. So once you've done your 90-degree first guideline, just cross check now, holding the hair out at 90 degrees, making sure you're happy with that first guideline. Now we're going to create a second guideline which comes from the top of the ear to the crown to the top of the ear. Okay, so now we've got a second guideline, so we're just double checking that it's even, top of the ear to the crown to the top of the ear. Once it is, stand behind your client and we should hopefully be able to see our first guideline now. So you're picking up this top section at 90 degrees. So as it goes all the way up, have good tension, and there it is. So fingers nice and straight and cut across. Remembering we're following 90 degrees. So following the contour of the head. Working down towards the side of the head. Taking your guide with you all the time. And coming out at 90 degrees. And then just working over the opposite side. 90 degrees, following your guide. And now cross-checking again to make sure that we've got a nice evenly balanced haircut. At this point, of course, if we did find anything that wasn't quite right, please, correct it at that point. That's always important, because obviously then we're not going to go through the whole haircut and make mistakes. So there we are, we're happy with that. So now we've got our head back into 4 even quarters. What I'm going to ask you to do now is split the back two into 4 sections. So you'll watch me now take a guideline from the middle of the back of the head to the top of the ear. And we'll do the same for the other side, giving us 4 in the back, okay? So now we've got our hair back into 4 quarters then at the back. It's important to keep this hair wet and moist before we start cutting it, because hair that's wet will allow us to keep our tension even and see our guide a lot more clearly. So standing on the side that your guide is, that's very important. It's no good standing the other side because you won't see your guideline. So standing this side, because this is where our guideline is, in the centre, we're working towards the back of our client's right ear in segments. You remember in the past we talked about orange segments, and we pivot from this top point of the top of the head. So it's very important that we always take our guideline with us when we cut. Remembering we're staying with that 90-degree angle. So taking our hair up, I can see our guide, it's 90 degrees and I've got good tension. Relieve some of that hair down and work back, still staying in that top quarter section. Holding the hair out at 90 degrees, seeing your guide. If anything's shorter, let that go, we won't worry about that. And again, we're going to continue to pivot round. So taking our top section with us, our top guide. Just removing any tangles as you go. Taking out at 90. See your guide. Fingers straight and cut. Working down again to that top section there, out at 90, and again back up to the top to pivot around, taking your guide with you. Making sure you've got nice clean sections as you pivot around. See your guide, 90 degrees. If you can't see your guide, remember to stop and retrace your steps and go backwards. So now this top quarter is 90 degrees cut at that angle, we're happy with that. So now what I'd like you to do is take a slice section with your comb of what you've just cut. So take out a nice section here. Make sure it's a nice clean, neat, even section, just double check that it is. Okay, so now this becomes your guide for your bottom section. Clip this up and out the way. And you can release that section here. So we've just taken out our guide and now we're going to work in the same manner, apart from this time where we can't pivot, but we are working down in slice sections all the way around. Remembering keeping the hair at 90 degrees. So if anything is shorter than 90, we can't cut. Taking our guide with us. On this particular haircut already, on this block, it's a bit shorter underneath, so there's not much hair for me to cut at this point underneath, only a tiny bit. Okay, so now we've cut this one side, we're going to repeat everything that we've just done on the opposite side. It is very important that I step round this side as the guideline is here, and we must work with our guideline in front of us. Remembering to keep our hair wet and moist at all times. So once we've cut the back, just cross check obviously the balance of that haircut, make sure you are happy with all of that. And once you're happy, you turn towards the back of your client now, and now we're going to concentrate on doing the remaining of the haircut, so the fronts and the sides. So again, keeping the hair wet, so we've got even tension to the whole of the haircut, really important. Standing behind your client, taking some of your guideline with you, starting up at the top of the crown area and working downwards. Take a slice section out with your comb and again out at 90 degrees. And you should have your guideline with you behind. I can see mine really clearly. Out at 90, so 90 degrees. And now all we do is work towards the front of the face, following the same pattern, 90 degrees. And once you've cut all of that at 90 degrees, again, you've got a really important job now, just to cross-check and make sure that you're happy with your client. Make sure it's sort of well balanced. Using your mirror obviously as a tool, looking into your mirror. You can double check with your client at that point, you know, if they're happy with it, taking enough off, and then style is, you know, to their requirements. So good luck with your uniform layer. Try and practice it again on friends and family at home at the moment that's staying with you, or on your block ideally. Just get more and more confident with it. Practice, practice, practice. Well done.